start with, I have first with me Flemming Røntved. He is a positive impact and excellence coach. He is certified coach from John C. Maxwell. He is the Chief Executive Officer for ESQL Dubai and Denmark. He's a certified coach and speaker with JMT, Chief Happiness Officer and authorized Genie training provider. His subject today is very, very important for us. It's not only important for people who are developing their career or looking for a better job or changing a career, seeking a career change. It's important for individuals as a person if you want to develop yourself and then have some growth perspective. So he will be talking about behavioral intelligence, how it can impact our next career opportunities or our life way forward. So ladies and gentlemen, before I hand over to Flemming, I would request all of you to put yourself on mute in case if there are sounds or noises behind or at your background, then they will not disturb. Once Flemming is completed, then we will move to Trisha, and then I will introduce Trisha at that time. So Flemming, I'll hand over the floor to you. I need to give you access for your slides so that you can share your slides as well. Yeah. There you
go. Wonderful.
Welcome on board.
My name is Flemming. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Flemming. I need to share just a second.
I have given you the rights, yeah.
Yep. And then I need to press here, and then I'll press here.
Yep.
Good. Technique is a wonderful thing. Good. Now we're in the right place. So my name is Flemming. I'm from Denmark. I've been working here in Dubai for a couple of years. I still have my company in Denmark. What we are focusing on is positive impact behavioral intelligence. Actually, we have 3 courses in what we're calling behavioral intelligence for personal and organizational well-being. We have purposeful innovators, and we have positive impact. This is my focus. I've been working with Police Dubai. I've been working with MOCD, Dubai Real Estate Institute, many governmental institutions, which both do virtual and e-learning and a lot of different things. What I have observed, and I will actually go into the presentation now because I will start with my personal life. If you're looking at this picture, you have here in the you have me on the left side and you have me on the right side. This is in 2010, where I was homeless, living in the streets in Denmark. Before that, I was a bank manager. And actually, I was born in a small city in northern of Denmark. And then I moved to Copenhagen, and I started in a bank in 1984 and ended up in 2010 as a bank manager. And we had the finance crisis. I had a lot of things on my plate, running around trying to please everybody. And that's actually where we're focusing efficiency, least resources for largest outcome. One of the things I never learned was, you can say, social and conceptual behavior. For me, I was focusing on technical skills, and I wanted to be the best in that area, but I didn't have any emotional intelligence or conceptual intelligence, even though I was leading a bank with about 15 employees. So I was so lucky to get fired. And by getting fired, I lost, you can say, my identity. And then I actually lost everything. You can say, had a depression, was looking into a white wall for about 3 months. And in that period, I lost my 3 real estates or 3 houses. I lost my family, they left me. And so I ended up with a debt of $1 million and actually living in the streets. But 16th of January 2010, a family came by. It was minus 19 degrees. I waved my hand and they said, you need a bath, a hot meal, and a good bed. So I went with them home, and then a fire started in their house, and I got the people out. I couldn't get out myself because the fire exploded. So I died about 20 minutes. And there I had an encounter with the universe, if we can say so. And I found that there was a lot more in life that I have ever seen. So having this conversation with the universe, the voice was, come to me, there is more. I've been traveling 88 countries for now, mostly working with governments and C-suite, focusing on behavioral intelligence, focusing on raising awareness of emotions and feelings, and thereby unlocking potential. It is that your current results is absolutely not a representation of your potential, only your current level of awareness of your potential. So this is me on the right side speaking in front of 3,500 people in US at the John Maxwell team. We are 35,000 coaches in the world. So here I had the opportunity to speak to 3,500, but I've also been speaking to 50,000 people. As I said, traveling 88 countries. We've done country transformation in Costa Rica, Guatemala, Paraguay, and I've been traveling 30,000 kilometers in Africa, most of East Africa, and so on. So when you raise awareness of your emotions and your feelings, you actually will change every outcome of life. We can say that in the left picture, I had negativity. Most you can say information in the world is negative. Open the radio, open the TV, read the newspaper, and so on, and that leads to illness and bad health and death. If we're focusing well-being and prosperity, then everything changes actually for us. We can say behavior and decisions leads to, you can say, our skills, our product, our service as a single individual. And that leads to currency. So if we are good, you can say Harvard University talks about behavior and attitude is 85% of success. And skills is actually, technical skills is actually only 15%. So if I jump for my next slide, I've done a lot of research because I found that if you're curious and ask 1 million of questions, everything will actually start changing. I didn't have any, as I said, the conceptual behavioral skills, emotional intelligence in that area. But one of the things I noticed is that conscious mind, that is, if we're lucky, we could be there 5% of the day. Most people are there 1% of the day. Conscious minds can accept, reject, neglect, and create. And it only works with 2,000 bits per second, unfortunately. If you're looking at subconscious mind, which is actually 90% of our brain, we'll see that we are there 95% of the day. It is that when I think, I default to subconscious mindset. When I think, I can easily communicate, I can easily drive the car, and so on. Subconscious mind works with 400 billion bits per second. That's very good. If we see a saber-toothed tiger, we need to run very fast. If we hear a shot or whatever, it only has 3 signals, and then we are in defense mode. It is also that you can say our amygdala, which is focusing on survival, which has been overstimulated in these times, and social needs, which has been understimulated in these times, food and reproduction. A stress reaction here goes into, you can say, your navigator, your perception, your comfort zone, your interpreter of reality. In there, we have, in the limbic system, we have responsibility. I would say responsibility, the ability to respond. Why did I end up in the streets? Because I didn't have the ability to respond. I had a lot of things on my plate I needed to focus on, I needed to take care on, I needed to please a lot of people because I was an excellence person. I didn't have a lot of values, I didn't know my passion, my purpose, and probably I didn't have any integrity. If we go to our neocortex, which is our conscious mind, in there we have some willpower, we have rational thinking, we have judgment, and we have inner critical voice. If you know inner critical voice, that voice always speaking to you and telling you, have you ever done this before? Who do you think you are? And all that kind of things. Where does that come from? The programming of our subconscious, which is 90% of the brain, is downloaded in the age of 0 to 7 from other people, our parents or authorities. And 70% of that is negative. And the other problem is that every time we think, we default to subconscious mindset. So actually, we are only paying attention to life between 1 to 5% every single day. We have 30,000 decisions to make every day. We also have 12,000 to 16,000 thoughts. And 95% of those are repeated because everything comes from subconscious mindset. And 80% is negative. And when we talk inner critical voice, that is automated negative thoughts, ants. And that's where we want to raise awareness of, become agents of our life and our, you can say, situation. Just a second. We jump to the next slide. If we want to change something in our life, we have a comfort zone. You can say our comfort zone comes from our parents and authorities in the age of 0 to 7. If we introduce a new input.
Flemming, we cannot see your screen. Could you just share again?
You cannot see my screen?
Yeah, I think
just a second.
Yeah, if you can share again, please.
Okay, fine. Just a second. Share. Good. Yeah. Good. So here we have our, you can say, subconscious mindset, our 90% of the brain directing our life every single day. And we give that a new input. It hits our comfort zone and will mostly be rejected immediately. That's the normal. Just a second. Yes, it's rejected. So why is that? Because everything we see by our 5 senses is colored by our comfort zone, which again is established in the age of 0 to 7 by our parents. That means it's also out of date. We can go to the next, which is the meaning zone, new input, and up come limitations. Everything, we need to have enough money, we need to have enough time. There's a lot of objections from our subconscious mindset, our inner critical voice. It's also that you cannot normally take an amygdala based emotions and replace it with reasoning or meaning. It needs an opposite emotion actually to be changed. So here we will reject again. If we go for direction zone, which is the most, that's where we're actually starting. If we're looking at ourselves, we will look at the brain as the chemist, and we're looking at our blood as the culture media. We can actually start, directing if we want to release dopamine, endorphin, serotonin, vasopressin, or other oxytocin, other, you can say, good food trucks in our system, and thereby we energize our body. But most of us will be in fear, and then we shut down the immune system. And by shutting down the immune system and going into stress, we're not feeding our body, we're losing energy. And that was the reason for me ending up in the streets of Denmark. So here we can start mixing. If we can say that we are having shame and we are mixing that with anger, then we are actually changing our, you can say, chemical in our body, and by that we're energizing ourselves. We get confidence. If we're having fear, we can combine that with sadness, and then we'll have calmness, self-control. So here, the more we learn about our emotions, the more we create awareness of ourselves, the more we can directing our life. So here we, even in direction zone, will have negative thoughts, we will get worried, we'll have anxiety, and we again will reject the idea of getting a new job or going to a conversation, a job interview, where we are so focused on impressing instead of just listening and hearing what the guy is asking us. So in the moment we actually get, you can say, into positive impact zone, purpose, passion, and clarity, we'll have a new input. That could be the new job, that could be establishing a business, that could be many good things for us. Then we'll actually start doing that. The other part is that the academic world teaches us what to think and rewards us for what we know. In the business world, we need to be doers. So when we come to, you can say, freedom zone, then, and we start focusing on changing on the inside, most of us thinks that something outside us needs to change before we can change, but it's actually totally the opposite. Something inside us needs to change, and then everything around us will start changing. So in the moment we focus on response and ability to respond, values, passion, and integrity, we are navigating by values instead of, you can say, emotions. We are finding our passion, our purpose. We are having integrity. Everything around us will start changing. Our intellectual will grow, our mental power. When we know our personal strengths, everything will change. Energy management, not time management, but manage your energy, then everything around you will start changing. You will actually start shining and attracting good things into your life. Business mastery, prosperity management, financials, finding your why, and social bonds, which is, you can say, social skills, relating to other people, intention and goal settings. Everything in that area will change in the moment you actually start changing on your inside, and so on. If we go into what we actually talk about now, behavioral intelligence, the impact of the cloud of emotional clutter and on decision making. As I mentioned before, we had 35,000 decisions to make every day. We may have blocks, we may have beliefs, we may have barriers, and we may have blind spots. The blocks, beliefs, the barriers, and the blind spots comes from our parents or our teachers. If somebody tells you you'll never learn mathematics, you know that you'll never learn mathematics. You just need to have that knowledge, or the teacher telling you that 5 times, then you're not focusing on mathematics anymore, because he actually told you you'll never learn mathematics. The same if you go for the doctor and he tells you you got 3 months to live. Did he prescribe your death, or did he know? You're actually going to die after 3 months because you believe that, and your, you can say, biochemicals, your hormones and everything will focus on that. And 3 months later you died, and then the doctor found out he took the wrong file. But since you believed it, it's going to happen. So believe it and receive it. That will normally happen for most people. So here you can say blocks, beliefs, barriers, and blind spots leads to emotional decision making. We have, luckily, our subconscious, which when we are saying hello to somebody, we are not looking at them. We're actually in 3-4 seconds, we already have a picture of the people we are engaging with. When you go into for a job interview and you see this guy, and then you'll have an idea of who he is, but it may not at all be reality. It's just according to your programming. You're getting a few clues, and then you have a picture of, okay, this guy is like that, and I'm going to handle him like this, and it may not at all be true. And that's where I will jump to actually another presentation. So I just need to new share, and then I need to go. Just a second. into the, yes.
You have about 5 minutes.
Yes, I don't need a lot more. I just need to escape this one. And good. Then I wanted to go here. I need to go here. That's where we have something which been looked for, or it's a 2,000 years old research, actually. People are connected to, and I will go into share screen again. Let's see here. Good. Yeah, since I'm running out of time, I'll go in here. Good. So, good. So I needed to go here. Oops. Good, here. And then I'll go for share screen. We have 2,000 years old research. I hope you can see this. This is DISC. And what we're focusing on here, behavioral profile report of me. And what we're talking about here is 2,000 years old research, where we are talking about action, controlling, taking, task-oriented people. That's 3% of the population in the world. They are dominant, decisive, and doers. Harmony people, they are people-oriented people, 17% of the population in the world. We have compliant people, reasoning people, conservative holding people, again, task-oriented, data-oriented, and so on. That is 11% of the people in the world. We have steady people, excellences, supporting, giving, people-oriented people, and that is 69% of the world who actually want to be supporting giving. That is their nature. When we start, you can say, focusing on who we are, and we'll know who we are, then we can increase our self-awareness. We will know our own life philosophy, our goals, our strengths, and our obstacles. And we'll also know that about the other 4 types. And that means that when we go in for a job interview, we will quick, by listening, learn, okay, this guy is dominant. And if I'm compliant, then I'm not going to tell him a lot of data. I'm not going to, example, give him a report of 10,000 pages or 1,000 pages. I'm just giving him a, you can say, 2 pages about what I have been doing. I will talk his language, and by that, everything becomes a lot easier. And the same with steady and so on and so on. When you know who you're sitting in front of, then everything becomes a lot easier. Here we can go, if we go deeper, we can see that this is my behavior. If I'm management, if I'm a leader, I'll know my leadership style, decision-making, communication. If I'm in sales, I know how to open, close, and customer service, and how to lead me effectively. I know all about that. And again, what is motivating me? How can I be motivated? As again said, it's a 2,000 years old research. So I jump back to my presentation before here, and then I will go down here. And again, if we look at ourselves, if we know our emotions and so on and so on, we can actually, we know that we have happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, surprise, shame, and guilt as being the emotions that's all over the world. It doesn't matter. I've been traveling 88 countries. Those are the basic emotions. If we're looking at the leaves, if we're looking at the example of a tree, we can see that feelings which are conscious, actually, which could be nervous, discouraged, skeptical, suspicious when you go for a job interview, those are the conscious. And when we have those, we will start directing our subconscious, and we'll go into feelings. And if we're looking at the trunk of the tree and we're looking at the roots, those are the affects when we're talking feelings, emotions, and affects. When we know who we are, we actually know and increase our self-awareness. We can start focusing on applying strengths, which means that we can seek situations that brings out the best in us and make the most of our strengths. We can also do less moderating, because we can actually become, you can say, a pain for other people in the moment we over exceed in our preferred behavioral style. We can also get help from other people where we're supplementing. There may be styles we are not aware of. So when we are starting working together with other people, we'll learn other styles, and then we can start switching between the different styles. We can also build relationships, communication, and so on. So there is many different ways of actually increasing our awareness of emotions and our most preferred and least preferred behavioral styles. But we need to know ourselves, and we need to know the 4 styles. And when we have worked with these styles, we can go into the level 5, the expanded navigator. As I said, I died. And if we're going back to 1700 Isaac Newton, he sees humans as machines. We're not machines, we're actually energy. Max Planck found out that in 1918, where he got the Nobel Prize. And Albert Einstein said that the sole agent or agency of energy is the universe. So when we are focusing on our thought, combining that with the universe, combining that with best practice research, and find our peers, it is according to the Pareto principle that 20% of our surroundings, resources, is giving us 80% income. So when we start focusing on that, we get accountability, integrity, we will communicate, and we will find the truth. And it also that 18% is unqualified resources. As I said, much of what we are engaging with is negativity, blame, anger, and excuses. And we can sort of take out that from our systems. We don't need to be there. So it's all about knowing who you are. And when you know who you are, you know your strengths, you know your passion, you know your obstacles, you know who other people's are. Everything becomes a lot easier. And you actually step out of negativity. I don't know if I used my time.
Yep, you got 30 seconds to wrap it up if you need.
Okay. It's a lot of information in 20 minutes. It's actually a webinar of, you can say, 3 hours, 4 times. Yeah. Where we go a lot deeper into everything, and we actually interactive start using this, and we start focusing, and we actually start getting aha moments. We start doing, and we start becoming, and we'll do again by learning, improving, and we start growing. This is one of the things I never focused on. I never focused on personal growth before I died. After I died, or after I got fired, I will say that I missed 45 years of my life. I was not paying attention to anything. I was just living in my bubble, my circle, running around pleasing everybody and defaulting to my subconscious mindset all the time. And when we default to subconscious mindset, we are not aware of what's going on. When people are confronting us and saying, why are you saying this? Why are you doing this? I will deny it, because I'm not even aware of my behavior. I'm not aware of I'm having the behavior as my mother or my father, because I'm not there. I'm thinking.
Yep.
So this is where we actually can change by become agents of, and by raising awareness of conscious quality thinking.
Thank you so much, Flemming. So nice of you. This was very, very informative.